team, at least lately, to take a big deficit to sort of get that urgency?
Yeah, it's definitely troublesome. That's why I called the timeout with, I don't even know, it's like 4 minutes into the game. It was 14-2. And, our defensive intensity wasn't there. It wasn't what it should be. This is the number one team in the league in offense. So you have to be on it, and you have to be willing to make the extra effort and willing to, do both, help and recover. And, we didn't do a great job of that. And this is a team that when you don't do a great job of that, they can make you look pretty bad on the defensive end.
What was the breakdown of the interior defense like?
Well, they were getting downhill, on their drives. They were offensive rebounding. They had 10 offensive rebounds in the first half. They were, once they were getting into the paint, it was the kicks to the 3-point shooters. So they were doing a little bit of everything, but, having a better impact on the ball when it comes to pick and roll, would have helped, because as you saw when they were coming off, they were either getting all the way to the rim or they were like darting passes to teammates. And if you're allowed to dart passes and you're in help, you're not going to get there. They have to make those passes over high hands, over activity. So there's a little bit more time for you to get to your closeout. And we didn't have that.
Is it part of the process, and how much of it is not that much that you should accept that the guys still need to have you at halftime show them, explain to them, as opposed to during a game understand what's happening and fix it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know if we're underestimating, but I just think it takes time. And, in order to learn it and to get it and to react to it when it's a great team that's doing it against you. And, whether it was Toronto, who was driving the ball with their size and getting the ball into the paint, or this team who uses a bunch of movement and then gets the ball into the paint, the intention to keep the ball out of the paint, but also the learning curve of seeing it and doing it. And we need to do it.
Is this kind of rotation that you have planned with them?
Yes and no. There was a stretch where there wasn't a timeout, there wasn't a foul, so I probably wanted to get him in a little bit earlier, which kind of had a ripple effect down the roster, especially with Josh. But yeah. I mean, he'll get probably around this amount of minutes, maybe a little bit more, and then depending on when I can actually get him in the game, the other guys will kind of fall in line.
How much is their length and size per court?
Length and size always affects us. We're not a huge team, and they have one of the longest, most sizable guys in the league with Gobert, and then they come in with Whiteside, who is big as well. So, the teams that have length and size, like Toronto, like this team, we struggle a little bit, offensively, but I didn't think our offense, the first half, especially our offense wasn't nearly as bad as it kind of looked. It was the defense, because we were taking the ball out of bounds the whole time. We weren't getting the ball. We weren't getting stops. So we were playing against a set defense the whole time. And, when we're playing against a set defense, it's not great for our group.
And we'll take one question from Zoom. Jackson Gatlin.
Hey, Stephen, I know you touched on the rotation stuff just a little bit there momentarily, but were you kind of intentional about playing Dennis alongside at stretches each of the other guards that are in the usual rotation, at trying to get a look at what he could look like with some of the other guys out there? And what did you see out of him that you liked tonight?
Yeah, I like the ball pressure that he applies. He's a good pick and roll player. He is natural. It's natural for him to get guys organized. He recognizes who he's on the floor with and can get, like, there were times where he was on the floor with Eric, noticed Eric hadn't gotten a shot in a little while. I didn't have to call play. He just made sure that Eric got the ball. So yeah, that know-how, that kind of organization part is big for our group. Plus, he pushes the ball up the floor. Once it goes through the net, he's getting it over half court quickly. So I was a little bit intentional as far as who he was playing with, because I wanted to see, who he works best with, but that's going to be a work in progress. It's going to take more than one, probably more than these 3 games before the break to figure that out.